So the quality of your beliefs are really important. Your beliefs also determine what I call your status quos, or your norms. In other words, how you normally are, how you normally comb your hair, whether you use your right hand or your left hand, how you stand, how you present yourself, how you walk, how you talk, what you drive and where you live, your norms. Even right down to how you talk with other people. For example, most people only have a vocabulary of about 450 words. And they just use those same words over and over again in a different order. So what is your vocabulary? And where is that taking you based on your norms? They'll also have norms around how they do relationships, how they utilize money, and almost everything else in your life. So working in that area is going to be really important. I'm sure you can see that. Now the next area we're going to look at is the area of emotions. Now here's the thing. Some people, when I first start talking about emotions, especially you guys, especially if you're kind of around that 40-year age group, you know, and you like sport, you know, and you're rough and tough and all those good things, you're going to start to think, oh, this is a little bit airy-fairy. But hey, if you're thinking that or you're saying that to yourself, just realize you're having an emotion. So regardless of how analytical you may believe you are, everything is based on feelings and then what we believe around what it is we feel. Okay, so you can get that for a second. Just think about that. Now, the reason why emotions are so important is because the more emotional intelligence you have, the more able you are to interpret your emotions correctly, the more likely it is you can then use that emotion to determine the beliefs that are going to help your focus and your intention so you can determine the events that you want in your life. They're all linked together. They're in a loop, in fact. Does that make sense to you? I'm sure it does. So let me take you through that slowly again. Emotions are messengers, not commands. For a lot of people who don't know this, they think that every time they have a feeling, it's a command to do something. Like right now, I might feel angry, so that's a command to go do something violent. Or right now, I might feel sad, so that's a command to go and hide. Emotions are just messages. The trick is, what's the message? How do you interpret that message so you can get from it the resourcefulness that that message was actually trying to send you in the first place? Now, if you think about that, as you think about that after this video, you'll start to get an inkling of how important and freeing that is for you. Because if you change the meaning of what a feeling has for you, you actually change what you believe, you change your capacity, you change your skills, your talent, and you change your results. We'll come back to that soon. Okay, so those are linked to that. I'm sure you can see that. The next thing that we're going to look at also is your chemistry. Now, why is that linked to that? Let me give you 2 points. The first one is this. There's a thing called brain chemistry. Now, your brain chemistry determines how your brain actually works. And if you think about that, then that determines what you believe. It determines how you interpret your emotions. It determines how you interpret those things together, which makes you focus on one or determine another in terms of the events that you may or may not create. So that's really important to understand how your brain actually works in terms of its chemistry. And it's really simple. I'm going to teach you how to do that. The second part is your body chemistry. Now let me break that down a little bit. Okay, let's talk about body and brain chemistry as a whole for a second. So if you eat junk food, for example, do you think that might have an impact on your brain's ability and your body's ability to function 100%? It's going to, isn't it? If you eat wholesome, healthy foods and you have lots of antioxidants, lots of vitamin minerals, and let's just add in there sleep and exercise, then do you think that might have an impact on your body's chemistry? Absolutely it will. If your body is at its chemical best, do you think that might impact on how you feel? I mean, for example, if you're eating junk food, for example, and you're hungover and you're tired and you're unfit and you're overweight, how is that going to make you feel? What then will that you believe about yourself? Where will then that put your focus and your attention? And how will that influence events? You can see how these things are looped together now. I think you're starting to get a feel for that, aren't they? As opposed to, if you're eating good foods, if you've got lots of antioxidants, we'll talk about that some more soon. Antioxidants, for example, that's cellular health. That's the health of every individual cell that your body is made up of. If you're healthy at that level, you're getting enough sleep, you're getting enough sunshine, in other words, enough vitamin D, so you feel good. Have you ever noticed you feel better in the summer than you may in the winter? unless you're skiing down a slope, for example, and getting lots of exhilaration, lots of adrenaline. If you're feeling really good about yourself because your body's chemistry is in play, then that's also going to impact on these other things. So we're going to talk a lot about those two things, and also how that impacts differently on your age, determined by the events we talked about earlier on, and also your gender. Okay, age, for example. I mean, we all know, and I'm parents, as I said before, and I'm sure many of you are as well. We know that boys and girls, as they go through certain ages, they're going to go through some chemical changes. I mean, I know that when my son was 7, he was a great kid. When he became a teenager, he talked in grunts. I'm sure you can relate to that. And that was more to do with his chemistry than his intellect. Now, and if you talk to professional sporting coaches, and many of my friends are, they work with Olympic athletes and so forth, and they'll tell you the same thing. Now, girls are also the same. As they grow up, they go through adolescence, their bodies are going to change, their chemistry is going to change, and that's going to cause them to have mood swings, isn't it? It's going to change their chemistry. It's also going to change their capability. It's going to change the way they feel and what they believe they're actually capable of. So those things are important. Now, if we move through to a person who's, say, in their mid-30s, late 30s perhaps, for men, they're going to start to go through, whether you believe it or not, guys, you're going to go through that midlife cycle where your body's going to change. You're not going to be able to eat what you used to eat and get away with it. It's going to start adding around here. Trust me, it will. Okay? Whereas when you were younger, you might have been able to eat whatever you want. Now, ladies, the same. Whether you've had kids or not had kids, all of those things are going to change your chemistry. And for many women right now, and right now on the planet, if you think about the people in this age group, there are about 1 billion of us, both men and women. You're going to go through some chemistry changes that are going to change the way you feel a lot of the time. Okay, it's just a fact. The trick is, once you know this information, once you know how to influence these things, once you know how these things influence you, you're going to be able to determine, make better decisions about, make conscious decisions about how they all impact on the big B, how you behave. And how you behave determines your results, determines your outcomes in any part of your life. It determines your outcomes in terms of how you feel about yourself, how you feel about the way you look, your financial situation, what you'll engage in, what you'll commit to, your relationships, and every area of your life. Okay, so I know we're talking really fast here, and I'm just trying to give you a good overview right now. I want you to switch off this video, right? Go away, have a think about those things, take some notes, watch the video again. Right, and I want you to start becoming aware of yourself, because in the next video, we're going to start talking about beliefs and focus in more detail. Because by the time we get to that next video, from this one, you're going to have had some new thoughts about yourself, some new realizations about yourself. So I want you to go ahead, take this information, make it your own, and see you soon. Bye.